Hey, how's it going everybody? It's Tanner here and welcome back to another Ninjago Season 11 speculation video here on the channel. In today's video I wanted to go ahead and basically give my predictions for the next season of Ninjago. It's basically been a tradition on this channel that I do this pretty much at the end of every season, and since Season 10 is over in New Zealand and the majority of the Ninjago community has seen it, I figured I'd go ahead and give my thoughts on what Season 11 could look like. Of course, just remember that I personally have not yet seen Season 10 yet, as it has not yet aired in my country, but I do know everything that's happened, and I have gotten caught up, so yeah, I'm pretty much qualified to talk about this here, at least I feel like I am. And also, before we start, I wanted to give a quick little disclaimer regarding my Patreon. I did check it this morning, and it does appear that some of you guys are pledged. Unfortunately, a lot of people have the whole declined thing going on, so I have no idea what that means, but it's actually not showing up on the actual Patreon thing itself. So I encourage anyone that has pledged to me on Patreon, if you could check that and make sure everything's good on your end, that'd be great. Feel free to send me a message on Patreon. I think you could do that. If not, just leave a comment and I'll search through the comments and I'll see what I can find. Or, you could always personally tweet at me, that works as well. But let's go ahead and talk about some Season 11 predictions. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the whole idea of ZANE becoming evil. So this entire concept revolves around, I guess, the leak of an Ice Emperor being added in Ninjago Season 11. Of course, the entire environment of Season 11 could be very snow and ice based, which I do really like, considering how I live in a completely frozen wasteland. In fact, here's a photo of my car. It's been completely frozen and covered in snow, so it's going to be interesting to see an actual Ninjago story that actually goes ahead and takes the characteristics of my own personal space, which I do appreciate. But yeah, the idea that ZANE could actually become evil later on is quite interesting, to say the least. I mean, there's not a whole lot to cover this, besides just the basic leaks of the Ice Emperor, but I did a whole theory video talking about the fact that ZANE could have gone evil due to something that would have happened in Season 10. Unfortunately, nothing happened to, for example, Pixel or anything like that in Season 10, so it's highly likely that ZANE becoming evil might not even happen anymore, and even if it does, it's probably going to be for a completely different reason, and we'll go ahead and see what that is if this actually does happen. If not, I look forward to the Ice Emperor being a huge part of the Season 11 story, and I'm curious to see what this character is all about and where the story actually goes regarding this character. My next prediction is that the fire versus ice thing will not be leading to a Chima crossover. So I did a video a while ago talking about how perhaps Lloyd could be traveling to Chima in Season 11, and of course the whole fire versus ice thing was a big rumor regarding Season 11's story, and of course the final little arc of Legends of Chima, before that theme got discontinued, was all about fire versus ice. So everyone kind of, put two and two together and thought, hey, could Ninjago be crossing over with Chima? I personally don't think so. I think the fire versus ice aspect will just have to do with the individual characters of Kai and ZANE. If ZANE actually does become evil in the next season, I can see Kai going up against ZANE, because fire easily overthrows ice, according to Pokemon. But, this could be interesting to see Kai fighting off ZANE, or it could just be something completely different. Maybe the ninja are going to go ahead and all get fire powers, which kind of would be weird considering how they are separated based on element. But, of course that all remains to be seen, and I have no idea what's actually going to be happening when Season 11 actually comes out. Again, these are all just my own personal predictions. But if this does end up playing out, I think this will lead nicely into my next prediction here, is that Kai will be the center focus, or the main ninja. Of course, Seasons 8, 9, and 10 have been doing a really great job of not actually having a focus ninja, and actually focusing on the ninja team as a whole. In case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, early on in Ninjago, and I think up until, I believe, Hands of Time, each season of Ninjago pretty much had a focus ninja that they pretty much revolved the entire story around, whether that be Jay, Cole, ZANE, everyone pretty much had that. But they've sort of been, I guess, going away from that, so my prediction here is that Kai could be the focus ninja, considering how the whole season is focused on fire versus ice, and if the box art does not feature the evil ZANE, if he even ends up going evil, I think it's highly likely that Kai could be the main focus ninja, the one on the box art, because of course, if the fire versus ice aspect is true, that would mean that Kai would be front and center to take on ZANE. Which again could be really interesting to see, and I really hope something like this does actually end up happening, because the two ninja, or at least a few ninja fighting against each other, is something that I've really enjoyed from Ninjago, and it's something that I've been wanting to see for a while. Of course, that's why Tournament is one of my favorite arcs, is because we got that whole Jay versus Cole thing going on there, which was really fun. So if they could redo that with Kai and ZANE, that'd be insanely awesome. Next up is the whole Garmadon subplot. So towards the end of March of the Oni, we basically saw Garmadon walk away from this life. I really don't know what he was going for there, but after the Oni were defeated, he sort of just walked away. He didn't die or anything. He didn't like get absorbed into the abyss or whatever with the rest of the Oni. He basically just, survived and walked away from it. So that's hinting towards some great characterization towards Garmadon, and it's, going towards some great development as well for his character. And we'll go ahead and see what that's all about when Ninjago Season 11 does eventually air. But talking about that even more, Garmadon as a character during Seasons 8, 9, and 10 was really interesting. There was a lot of development ever since he was revived. He was basically just an evil killing machine. But in Season 10, apparently he starts to get a little more humanity, which I can appreciate. He's slowly transitioning back into his Sensei Garmadon self, so I'm curious to see where that goes in Season 11. I have a feeling that that'll basically be the whole thing revolving Garmadon's character in Season 11. It will be the fact that, his humanity is slowly coming back to him, which I can't wait to actually see. I'll be doing another video in a few days talking about how Garmadon will actually, go ahead and develop more during Season 11, but as it turns out right now, I have a feeling that Garmadon will be a huge part of the next season, even if he's not going to be the main focus. I'll probably just have a subplot or something like that, maybe with Lloyd, where Lloyd has to go track him down or something like that. That could be really cool to see, and I can't wait to actually see what comes from Garmadon's character in the next season. Next up, we have the aspect of the golden weapons returning. So, as a lot of you guys know, in Season 10, the golden weapons did actually go ahead and return due to Kai actually reformatting them from the golden armor, and the golden weapons played a big role in the finale. But will they actually play a big role in the next season? I have no idea, personally. Ninjago has a habit of basically bringing up some huge, I guess, like MacGuffin sort of thing, or some big weapon in one season and then forgetting about it for a lot of the time. For example, the Sword of Sanctuary from Season 5 did not appear again for a long while until, I think, Season 10 actually it comes back. Same thing with the Realm Crystal, it's kind of just been off to the side until it needs to be relevant again. But I have a feeling that, why would they make the golden weapons and not use them again? You would think that those would be the primary weapons for the ninja, especially if they're going to be facing bigger threats. They might want to have powerful weapons like their golden weapons, so I'm going to predict that they will actually come back in full capacity, but that all remains to be seen, and this is again something that I will be doing a future video on, so stay tuned for that. Next up, this is probably one of these stranger theories that I've had, but I have a theory that in Season 11, Lloyd will become very spiritual in the sense that he did meet with the first Spinjitzu master, and he did go ahead and basically, physically meet his grandfather, the creator of all of Ninjago, which is really interesting when you look at it. And for Lloyd to experience something like that and actually not remember it is kind of a downer in my opinion. I mean, he did say that Lloyd would not remember it if he chose to not go with the first Spinjitzu master and train a little bit more. But if he does remember it, I have a feeling that that will incredibly, have a huge impact on Lloyd's character during Season 11. In fact, it might even be his main source of inspiration and motivation. We really have no idea. And that might be a very spiritual thing that he has going on. It might bring him closer with Garmadon, and it might actually motivate him to do other things. Maybe he'll unlock new powers, or maybe he'll work to unlock his golden power once again. Again, all that remains to be seen, but I have a feeling that this experience will not just be a one-off thing that Lloyd experienced but then doesn't remember or doesn't ever revisit in the entirety of Ninjago. That just really wouldn't make much sense to me personally. And lastly here, will Season 11 be the biggest season for Ninjago? A lot of people were very curious to see what Season 11 will bring to the table, and I am no exception to that. I can't wait to see what actually happens regarding this next season. Will it be a whole fire versus ice aspect with ZANE as the main villain, or will it be something completely different? We do know that there will be, of course, Shadow Ninja or Evil Samurai or something like that going on in the season as well, so I really don't know what that's all about in the context of the actual season. But I will go ahead and, of course, be making more speculation videos and theories talking about all this in the upcoming weeks and months leading up to Season 11's actual airing, or before we actually get any sort of information regarding that. There is a lot, there's a lot going on with Season 11, and there's a lot that's left over from Season 10 that really hasn't been resolved, so I hope a lot of that does transition over into the next season as well. And I have a feeling that Season 11 overall might be the biggest season for Ninjago, especially considering everything that's bound to happen and everything that's rumored to have happening. Of course, Season 10 was supposed to be the biggest, but according to a lot of you guys, that was kind of small and disappointing. So hopefully Season 11 can go ahead and rebuild what Season 10 basically left off with, and I, for one, cannot wait to see everything that happens in the next season. So that'll just about do it for my overall theories regarding Season 11 and everything that'll be happening. I hope you enjoyed my predictions, but now it's time for you guys to go ahead and leave a comment talking about what you think will happen in the next season of Ninjago. What exactly do you want to see happen? What do you think will happen? And what do you think of my predictions? Feel free to leave a comment down below talking about all of that. I look forward to reading those as well, and I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. Again, to my Patreon supporters, do check your Patreon status. Of course, a lot of you guys were declined, so I really don't know what that means as I am new to Patreon, but something tells me that you guys aren't actually, showing up on the homepage, which is very unfortunate, and I want you guys to be there. So if you support me on Patreon, be sure to check your Patreon status to make sure everything is good, and let me know how that is, again, via Twitter DM, or just tweet at me in general, or just message me on Patreon if that's even a feature. I really need to do more research regarding Patreon. But with that being said, guys, that'll just about do it for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, as always, don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up rating. And of course, remember to hit the subscribe button if you have not done so already. Once again, guys, the comment section is there for the various discussions that you would like to have regarding this topic. Or if you just had a comment of a general nature, that's fine as well. Thank you so much for watching once again, guys. Again, the links in the description will lead you over to my other forms of social media, whether it be my Twitter, my Instagram, or my Patreon. Be sure to support me on all those platforms if you would like to. With that being said, though, thanks a lot for watching. My name is TannerFishies, and with that, I bid you farewell.